Welcome back to some more Jujutsu Kaisen, where we are sectioning off parts of Japan and having it all rumble inside. As the clock ticks down and the damage gets greater, exactly how many people are they going to save and how many are we going to lose in the process? And I guess at the end of the day, how long before Sukuna makes a reappearance? This show is just getting more and more a little bit convoluted, actually. Might be the right word. Plans of ancient sorcerers, some that are coming back after quite a few centuries, and getting involved in this little charade. Whether for power or just for fun, we need to find out. So, grab a drink and let's get back into some of the culling games in more Jujutsu Kaisen. Just starting straight out with the intro. No preview or preamble to get into it. That tells me that there might be something that they don't want to draw attention away from coming up soon. But I do like what we saw in the last episode with the jet set hairstyle bullshit, where new age thinking of abilities and what they can be and what they can do. Really might come up to odds with the more traditional old school sorcerers of ye old. Also, just getting a whole bunch of interesting character designs. See, that doesn't affect me as much anymore. Interesting character designs being thrown at us. Trying to work out what the whole deal is, and more than likely they will be aggressive. I mean, they're good at their job, 99%. Okay, what? Just so what? Fought back against police in a way to try and save the cat? Yeah, I don't think pets are really a way to get out of that kind of a charge. Yeah, if it was just a conversation, that might not have been quite so bad. I mean, that cat is a criminal mastermind, being able to pin it all on him. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people that just claimed, oh, the blade's not mine, I just found it, but also the oddities of it all. I mean, you can't leave something like that out in public, it might hurt someone. Yeah, you don't do a later, it's, look, I found this, and you call it in where it is. So, somewhat of a... I was going to say selfless act and whatnot, but seems like being taken advantage of as well. It's just the only way that they can, get work. I feel as though this is building us all up, the 99%. He goes down for it, even if he was innocent because of that. Also, I just haven't mentioned a tool, but voice. The issue now is that possibility. Can you come up with any mitigating circumstances or evidence to prove it? I like the little moments like that, like with Yuji talking to Hakari, it was rotoscoped. Like there, of him just pushing her chair around. Because it seemed interesting. You need to repeat that to let it be known that she was slightly annoyed. I mean, there are plenty of reasons to get into a line of work, and as far as lawyers go, not being in it for the money is fairly rare. When I say lawyers, also prosecutors and defenders and public servants and whatnot, but anyway. Right. To send him down. Huh. Christ. I mean, people hear what they want to hear. It would be interesting to know if, because it all seems also altruistic. He's doing this to help those that can't do it themselves. Is there something darker lurking around the corner? And having to wallow in the dark side of humanity and people's actions and covering their own ass and taking down those around them when it's expedient for them. She's a hard worker, isn't she? Not yet. Yeah, that is, yeah. Appeal and appeal, and also the public opinion has already been swayed. The court of public opinion is what matters most in a lot of things, and that's being able to, if there is a... I would say having an airtight alibi of being on camera in a different location, pretty damn good. But, yeah. where everything can easily just sway and for not having turned his back on him. How many people lose their jobs, their families, everything? The appeal didn't go well. Well, it went well for the prosecutor. And yet it went differently. I mean, aren't they going to at least investigate the missing person? Yeah, they knew about the... He knew that when he said, yeah, it's not over yet. Is this where he loses his complete... Oh, no, okay, I was going... Loses his... belief in the justice system. To be fair, it is just weighing the possibilities, and a lot of the time, people can be swayed easily by the words of swayed by words in the court for him, whether there's truth behind it or not. I do like the shifts. The duality and framing and whatnot of the... Where did he get a gavel? Court is still in session. Justice is blind, I see. When you have... When you have a... have someone with a firm sense of justice and right and wrong and gets overlooked and whatnot, and then turns against the system itself, that could be scary. I don't find a guy in his underpants quite as intimidating as a lawyer. So he's not actively taking part in it, but he's not also doing anything to dissuade it. Why can't you understand something you were never told? So he's just trying to blend in and not be drawn into anything? He is an idiot, yes, but God, there's so many like fluid animation sequences and like that run animation. Huh? Give him a second, they might try work out what actually happened. He's not even trying. Well, both of them actually. I'm pretty sure that different angles was a reference to something, but I can't remember what it is at this moment. Was it at that moment that he was ordained by fate to be part of the Cullen Games as well? It's also really, really out in the open. Now, I think I remember that those are real buildings and whatnot, and you can actually see it, which is nice. Why not? This is what he wanted to do. Because he. Yuji's confidence in himself is kind of nice to see, but who's leading who into the trap, though, is the main question. Ah, okay. Okay, Reggie, can you put on a pair of pants? Remember what he said about if she's lying or anything? Ooh, but also getting immediately into a fighting pose. Are we going to meet a nice relaxing bath? Not purposefully. Depends on the clothes. You don't want anything that is quite form-fitting and... Huh? Well, at least he gets to live out something that he enjoyed long ago. Change your own perspective on things. Now, is he not going to do anything without a fee? Ah, goddammit, fucking lawyers. Ah, okay. He hasn't been completely warped by the system. And considering that he's just in a suit and everything during this, you can assume that he's kind of scary. Bath be damned. What's a business opportunity now? I mean, how many people actually know the ins and outs of the entire Culling game and what it means? How do you know that name, Reggie? Well, that was a neat eye roll. I mean, he has no reason to just go out and help him at the minute, but... Huh. So, taking the law into his own hands. There's more going on than just surface level what we've been told. Right, he's making some assumptions here, but right. Yeah, leading bugs to the slaughter. Don't know why I said bugs, but yeah. If you think about it, yeah, there'd be some that are just hiding, but wouldn't last too long just trying to stay out of it. Then just got the powerhouses taking over everything. Yeah. As we saw when Itadori was falling, it's a quick way to whittle out some that are not quite ready. I'll just skip straight to the judgment. Really speed things up. So I do like the fact he's just here to observe in a sense. He wants to see parts of it. I don't think Yuji is really trained in the verbal arts to make him change his mind, but God, that's kind of cool. Also, he's now been let off his leash, being allowed to carry out things that are kind of the inner thoughts that he's had while in the courtroom. Where are these backing lights come from? Why have we got red and blue? Which isn't the first time we've seen this, by the way. That's neat. Are you calling out the guillotine already? Is that... I don't believe that's a regular punishment in Japan. Hanging, sure, but... A metaphorical bomb. Huh. Maybe not, and also I do like the style change of the buildings and surrounding environment as it grew bigger. There's a lot of underlying bits going on during this, which adds certain elements to the story and the understanding. Also, considering that he called a retrial right there, does it... His wrath of, remember what he said? Have you felt of just killing someone who ticks them off? Does that include people that are just very good at their job? If a prosecutor is going for the prosecution, whether or not the person is actually innocent or not, it doesn't really matter. It's their record and prosecution rate, which is all that matters. And since there was no real fair trial and justice, why should there be in his little power and activation? Or will he still maintain that level-headed equalness? Kind of hope so, because, well, I like his voice. We got a fair lot in this episode, and I do like the cutaway away from the culling games and the backstory into a very level-headed man. The fact that, sure, we have... I have my own issues with the legal system here in the UK, and no country is particularly amazing at carrying out justice, but in countries where they do have a very high prosecution rate, you'd hope they get it right a lot of the times and they aren't just pushing to keep the high prosecution rate. But it's definitely more of a deterrent than it is here. Just look at the crimes rate statistics. But the idea of a lawyer sorcerer using... I'm not sure how this power is going to go down, but I'm going to assume it's going to weigh things up, call out a judgment, and that judgment is death. Also, seeing that flashback made me think, when we do have awakened normal people as sorcerers, do they intrinsically know how to use their powers and what it does and how to activate it? Because it was sit in the middle of a courtroom and just... Court is in session. Like, there was no hesitation there. He was just like, all right, this isn't justice. Stand up, start banging the gavel. Everyone get back in your fucking seat. Okay. I mean, do you argue with that, man? I do wonder about other characters and, like, you know, Mr. Talisman Receipt Pants, but somehow I'm not entirely too invested in that side story. But the little story beats, the fact that everyone has their own history, their reasonings that they wound up here, those that accepted the invitation to leave the colony, and those that remained firmly in place, did so for a reason. And it's those little human elements and bits which I want to see more of. Honestly, this episode was what I hoped for. I would have hoped for a little bit extra, but it was what I hoped for. The next episode well, probably it's actually going to focus on Megami and the bluff. The fact that she lied to him. Is the Itadori going to be allowed adequate representation? Or is he forced to represent himself? Those that represent themselves have a fool for a client. That's something for next time to think about. If you enjoyed this one, let me know. I do like some of the lighting work and very reminiscent of other bits they've done. I'm not sure why. Well, obviously it was in a theatre, so the red and blue lights kind of make sense. But in that time and that element right there, why it was those lightings, don't entirely know. But I do like it when it goes a little bit out of the expected and ordinary. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, let me know. If I did anything to entertain you, consider leaving a like on the video, maybe even subscribe to the channel, jump onto my Discord to not miss out future uploads and notifications when things do come out. But most importantly, if you've got your own gripes and grievances with the court system and any sort of law enforcement, you can let it be known down in the comments section. Any sort of engagement is good for the channel, I think. Let's just try and enjoy more Jujutsu Kaisen in the future. So grab a drink, no. But let's just try and enjoy more anime in the future, so get some rest. And I'll see you there.